I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Colin, and in this video I have a super urgent SolChick announcement. Another big thing is about to happen. The whitelist just got announced for the SolChick IDO. There are over 30 launchpads participating and the NFT price is dumping. So if you're interested in the SolChick video, make sure to watch the entire video to stay up to date on all the rapid changes that are happening. Nothing in this video is financial advice. It is for entertainment purposes only. And I have the update. So first of all, I will start with the SolChicks IDO and thereafter discuss the NFT changes. So the public whitelist has been announced according to the tiers. So if you go to solchicks.io, make sure you're on the real website. The basically IDO on their private sale starts in 5 hours from recording this video, so 2 p.m. UTC. If you go to public sale process, this is basically what they refer to as their previous private sale. There have been some changes, so make sure that you consider all of these changes, or at least that you are aware of them. The most important one is still you need to hold the NFTs for the duration of the vesting to be eligible to receive the vesting. And I will read it for you just to make sure that it's clear. Whitelist eligibility in receiving your chicks via holding SolChicks NFTs. Please make sure your NFTs are delisted from any secondary marketplace and that you are holding your NFTs during this process at all times in order to be eligible for whitelisting. We will take a snapshot of the NFT sometime 48 hours prior to 2 p.m. UTC. The snapshot has already happened, but there will be more snapshots in the future, so do be aware of this. You must also hold on to your NFTs for the next 3 months in order to receive your chicks tokens through the vesting schedule. We will periodically take snapshots over the next 3 months, and if you have sold your NFTs or listed them on a secondary market, we reserve the right to halt future vesting of tokens and refund your remaining money pro rata back at cost. When we talk about the NFT dump that is currently happening in a second, I will refer back to this because a lot of people have been buying NFTs the last couple of days, assuming they would get into the higher tiers, but didn't, and now they're dumping their NFTs, which is completely fine. It brings back the original opportunity that I had foreseen. If you are not aware, I'm doing a SolChick playlist, which you can see. This video is part of it, and you can check out all these videos. If you appreciate the content, I would highly appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more SolChicks content. All right, for the whitelist itself. So I am part of the diamond tier. I did check my allocation, and you can check your allocation by putting in your Solana wallet address below. Click verify your wallet. You do not need to connect your wallet, just verify wallet address. And it says whitelist eligibility, yes. Individual hard cap, 100 Solana for me, which is basically $20,000, which is the tier 1, right? I get a little discount as well. So I have one of my wallets registered in the diamond tier because I hold 10 SolChicks for over the last 2 weeks. And I have one of my wallets in the VIP whitelist tier 2 with 50 Solana, which is about $10,000, right? I will need to hold on to these 15 NFTs for the duration of the vesting, which is not a problem for me, because I'm now looking at a long-term play for this game, looking at the rapid growth. I want to talk about the priority whitelist, tier 3 and tier 4. So for the tier 3, most of the individuals that had for the past week, so before the weekend, so about a week ago, had their allocation received. However, they made some changes to the regular whitelist. So given the overwhelming demand that grew beyond even our highest expectations, we were not able to accommodate everyone, and we used the lottery system to pick winners from the remaining tiers. For those that missed out, we decided to enable a small amount of cap, 0.1 Solana, $20, to allow everyone to participate. I think this is an extremely generous gesture. I think everybody should not complain, but be very appreciative, because on the lottery alone, I've seen over probably 1.4 million submissions, right? 1.4 million submissions. They were going to give out 20 Solana to everybody instead of giving basically 1,000 people $500 allocation. Still, probably there were a lot of wallets that were not eligible or duplicate ones, but even if there were 400,000 people total and they made this gesture, I think everybody should be appreciative of this, because now they're not going to leave anybody out. They give everybody equal opportunity. If this project goes times 10, times 20, you still have a good return. Enter your Solana wallet address used for your whitelist entry to check your eligibility and your individual hard cap. We will be taking snapshot of NFT holders prior to the public sale again, just to make sure that, so probably that will be 5 minutes before the private sale, right, that the NFTs are still there. Our system may automatically remove you from the whitelist as we take new snapshot of the NFT holdings. Over the next 3 months, again, it repeats the most important message. All right, so that's first of all one thing you have to do. There are a lot of scam addresses going on, obviously, with such a big project. I will link the registration in the description below, so you can check that out after watching this video and check your wallet if you were in the IDO. Let's say you were not in the IDO, right? IDO relative to the private sale. Right, so you did not hold any NFTs and still want to participate in the SolChicks launch. There are 2 options for you right now. Option 1, participate in the IDO on one of the 30 different launch pads. So we have Launch Zone, Send It, we have Cyberfi, Gamify, Solster, Paid Network. They basically have all Paid Ignition, True P&L. They have all the major platforms, and obviously I am in 4 or 5 of these platforms, and I'm going to participate even more through these platforms. Make sure that these are public sales, 25% TGE vested, like this one is as well, 25% TGE vested, and some of them are private sales, 10% TGE vested with 12 months of linear vesting. And ideally you would want 25% TGE, 3 months linear vesting, at least that has my preference. So I'll be looking at Launch Zone, True P&L, Red Kite, let me see, AnyPad I have TrustPad, I have like a dozen, half a dozen of these, and you can explore these. Any of these launch pads have their own requirements, not connected to the NFTs, not connected to SolChicks at all. They make their own rules. So for example, for StarTerra, you might need to stake tokens. For AnyPad, you might need to hold tokens just in your wallet. For other ones like True P&L, you might need to hold tokens in your wallet for a considerable amount of time to build up their True P&L gas, which you can then allocate in order to get allocation for a project. Each of these platforms utilizes their own systems. In order to be able to check what that is, you might have to go to the platform, see if you're still eligible to join, depending on what date the IDO is, because normally they need to do a whitelist 48 hours beforehand, 72 hours. The staking needs to be there. So for some of these, you might already be too late. But if you're seriously interested in participating in the IDOs on these platforms, go through these platforms one by one. This picture is of Twitter, which was posted, I think, not too long ago. It was retweeted this morning, right? So just scroll down on the SolChicks feed, open it up, go through these launch pads and see where the opportunities are. All right, now let's talk about the NFTs. Oh no, hang on. Before we go to the NFTs, there's one more thing. Obviously, let's say you did not get into the private sales of SolChicks.io directly. You can't get into the public sales of the launch pads. Your next best thing, if you want to join this project on a quick flip or invest in the long term, is to buy on launch. So the platform that will be used on launch is Raydium. Raydium is a Solana decentralized exchange, Solana DEX, the biggest one, and they will list on Raydium. You can launch the app, and it's like PancakeSwap, SushiSwap, Uniswap, but then for the Solana exchange. So they will launch. When we receive the tokens for the private and public sales is not yet available, but I foresee 1 to 3 hours after listing to prevent the initial dump, which makes sense as most of the big games follow this structure. Once it's listed, you can sell off your vested amount for the first month. If you want, you can hold on to this. Obviously, because the vested amounts are not released on TGE 1 to 3 hours after the listing, You have the opportunity, if you missed out on the private sale and the public sale, to purchase tokens through the DEX. Yes, probably above IDO price, don't get me wrong, but it still might be a very, very solid opportunity for you to consider if you missed out on the other opportunities. It is good, better, best, and sometimes you just have to settle for good if you really want to participate. On the DEX as well, you can participate for only a couple of dollars if you want, a couple hundred, couple thousand, all the way to the hundreds of thousands, depending on how interested you are. But obviously you do not need to play with huge amounts, as some of these launchpads that I've shown you before require large amounts of staking usually in order to allow you to participate. Now, those are all the options to participate. Let's look at the NFTs, right? Because the NFTs are dumping. In my previous videos, I stated I was interested in picking them up, and they're dumping quite hard. To such an extent that the bid floor yesterday was about 25 Solana, and right now it's 14 Solana less than 12 hours later. If we look at the latest sales, people are still buying, which I do not recommend. In my opinion, it is not worth it at this point, right? The thing that I'm doing is I'm waiting for the 5 to 6 Solana, right? 5 to 6 Solana is my buying range. Anything above that is too expensive. Let me clarify why. If we go back to the game, go to the features, go to the mint privileges, you'll find the third wave of minting is coming up. That third wave might have less privileges, right? So the minting cost used to be 3 Solana for wave 1 and wave 2, which have already been minted, right? It's the ones of the NFTs that we are currently holding, me and others, and are currently for sale on the secondary market. The wave 3 is to be minted, which will happen mid-December, already has been announced, not the specific date just yet. The mint cost will be 5 Solana. So it would make sense to buy anything under 5 Solana. However, I think it's unlikely to go under 5 Solana because they have some additional benefits. For example, the third wave will not get any airdrops, where the first and the second wave NFTs will. There will be a low percentage. So in any aspect, when you look at the weapons airdrop, the in-game bags that they can get, the eligibility for boss fight, the breeding, event, accessibility, they're all excluded, which means that the wave 1 and wave 2 NFTs are more valuable. That's why I'm willing to pay 1 Solana more, which is 20% more than the base price of the wave 3 NFTs. Also taking into consideration how it's looking right now with the amount of following these games have, how successful probably the IDO event will be when they go live on the listing. You might be able to mint one of these NFTs, definitely not more than one, because there's so much demand and so little supply. There's only 5,000 for probably 500,000 people that are interested, right? So your odds of being allowed to mint are very low. Maybe you do something cool, like if you hold wave 1 or wave 2 NFTs, you get exclusive access, but all of that is just hype right now. It's yet to be confirmed by the official team. So I'm looking to enter between 5 and 6 Solana. I think you're very dumb right now if you are buying for high prices like 11, 14, 42, 32, 20. I see literally no additional benefit of holding these NFTs right now except FOMO, right? So I think the reason people are dumping the NFTs right now is they might have purchased before, right, in order to get maybe tier 1 or tier 2 allocation on the whitelist, which were already closed. So now they see when they check their wallet, they get lower allocation, they don't need to hold these NFTs, and they dump them. There will be a large percentage of people that just simply do not read, right? I own many businesses, right? So I'm very much familiar with people not being able to read, which surprises me because we sell high ticket consulting, right? $10,000, $20,000 a month, and people still can't read by spending so much money. So it will not surprise me that a lot of people just skip this text, look at their whitelist allocation and then sell their NFTs because they think that's allowed, but they don't read this and they will be removed from the private sale once the second snapshot is taken. So yes, 1, people who missed out on the private sale, 2, people that don't read, and 3, people that no longer want to participate in the IDO for whatever reason they might have. The bid floor is dropping so fast that I expect it to drop below 10 Solana. You see already people buying it. So this is like some 10 Solana 2 hours ago. Right now it's up a little bit again. But there were sales for 42, 32, 35 Solana. There probably might be some rares. But there are added items fast. So now it's 246. You will see a lot of items being listed right now. It's 50. In the last couple of days that was half. And here it was around 200, so this is still quite stable. But I expect it to drop even more. As I said, I am personally not interested to buy for more than 5 to 6 Solana, for the benefits that I have sketched are not as present because I already hold 15 NFTs, right? So if you have none, then you might want to buy one for maybe sub 8 Solana. But keep in mind, 8 Solana, $1,600 for one of the common NFTs. That's not a super good deal, right? I'm just saying my opinion on this matter. If the price sinks even more to 5 to 6 Solana, I'm willing to spend probably, well, I'll buy 25, 30 additional NFTs for that specific price, because I think, not because I want to have them, but I'm just going to hold them for 1 or 2 months until the third wave had happened. These are more valuable. I collect the airdrops, and then thereafter I sell them for at least a 3-4x, which then would be valuable, like we have seen before. So the hype on the NFTs is slowing down. They're being dumped, and this creates a good opportunity, but do not FOMO in and buy one for top dollar, because in my opinion, they are not worth it. Wait for 5 to 6 Solana. There will be many, as you can see. People are undercutting quite aggressively, 0.3. So the bid floor is coming down. Basically 1 Solana every 3 NFTs that are listed if nobody buys, right? But you can also see if somebody buys 12 of them, the bid floor is back at 26 Solana already. So there's not that much supply just yet. However, it is very early in the European time zone that I'm recording this video. So as more Europeans start to look at the system, the Asians maybe go to bed and watch in their free time when they're not working. The US might wake up. An overlap of time zone hype might conclude a significant drop or no drop at all. But I will keep you guys updated, as I always do, in my Telegram channel, which you can join for free through the link in the description. These were basically the most important updates. So check your whitelist eligibility if you are allowed to participate in a private sale to see how much allocation you got. If you're not in the private sale and you want to participate, check out the Launchpads, look for their individual requirements. If that's also not an option because their requirements are too high or too expensive, then you have the participation option on the token generation event 6th of December to participate on the listing on Raydium and just buy early before the actual hype really starts after the TGE tokens are released. For the NFTs, keep your eyes open if you're interested, but I can say, or at least I can think that I would say that the quick flip benefit here is not applicable, right? Only buy these NFTs for a long-term play. And when I say long-term, I'm saying 2 to 3 months. I will keep you up to date on the SolChicks developments over the next couple of days until the IDO basically is completed and we're going for a launch. Updated price prediction coming very soon. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I appreciate you watching. As always, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one.